realise it's been
Welcome everybody, welcome to Dogs Bar. Today we're just going to open our art installation this week that's focused on poems and poetry about homelessness. And it's been timed to coincide with the Vinnie's CEO Sleepout, and we've got Martin Foley, the state member for Albert Park, and Anne Toohey, who's from Port Phillip Housing Association, as well as Frank House and Rob Lloyd, who are going to read a couple of poems that they've written that are displayed on the walls today. So we're filming this and we're going to put it on Facebook so that we do get an audience of 10,000 people. So I'd like to just introduce Martin Foley, who's the state member for Albert Park, to say a few words to open the art installation. Thanks, Martin.
Thanks, David. And can I begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to the elders past and present. That's been an issue of some controversy in Victoria recently. I say it because it's actually the right thing to do, as well as actually being a very significant and respectful thing to do for the traditional owners of this land. Can I thank David for his very kind invitation to say a few words? David did play down the fact that he's going around again to participate in the CEO sleepover, so he's going to suffer the cold of Melbourne's winter to make a stand for homelessness. And that's what this is about. How in a country like Australia, one of the richest countries in the world, where for generations now we continue to see the blight of homelessness and those suffering homelessness, is a real tragedy in every sense. It's a tragedy for those people, increasingly families, who are suffering homelessness. It's a tragedy for the communities of which they're a part. It's also so unnecessary in terms of the vast resources that we bring to this country. But as a nation, we've set ourselves the goal of harming homelessness this decade, and by the end of this decade, making sure that nobody is forced to sleep rough if that's their decision. Homelessness is a very complicated and multifaceted issue, and it will only be solved long term through not just government action, not just community action, not just corporate action, but by partnerships across all levels of government, community and corporates. So that's why issues like David bringing together the poetry on the walls here today, issues like St Vinnie's holding the CEO sleepover is fundamental to building those partnerships to deal in a really systematic way with the scourge of homelessness. And to do it in a way like David has done here today continues to show how he and the Dogs Bar and the other groups associated with the companies here in St Kilda are innovative ways in approaching ongoing social problems. So I say well done to David, well done to St Vinnie's, well done to all the artists and poets who have been a part of this effort today, and may it raise the goals of fundraising that it seeks, but more importantly, may it make a stake in the ground to say that the scourge of homelessness is an unmitigated tragedy that this community says no to. It's a great honour to introduce Frank to deliver one of his poems for this
I actually have a poem on the wall over there, but I think I'm going to do something a little different. Because you can all go and read that, but you can't read this. This is called He Was a Friend of Mine. And did you know his eyes were blue? Unlucky in love, never had that dream come true. But he was good and he was kind. I loved him dearly, he was a friend of mine. And did you know his mum and dad did not walk the street, only home he ever had? Wishing to return or send some sign. I love him always, he was a friend of mine. Did you pass him on the road and look the other way? When he asked for some food, what did you say? Did you push past him when he needed a dime? Did you stare him down when all he wanted was your time? Well, shame on you if all that's true. You lost the best friend you never knew. He fell in love, he lost his heart, and after the fall, everything just fell apart. He hit the streets, just running blind. He lives in my heart, he was a friend of mine. He died last night, crouched in a doorway 7 blocks from where we used to play. When we were young, and we thought the world would never end, he'd always kept me from danger. He was that kind of friend. Did you pass him on the road and look the other way? When he asked for some food, what did you say? Did you push past him when he needed a dime? Did you stare him down when all he wanted was your time? Well, shame on you, it's true. You lost the best friend you never knew. Yeah, shame on you. Shame on me too.
And I think it falls to you now. And to a member of Port Phillip Community Housing Association, the leading provider of home services to the homeless in this community.
Thanks very much, Martin. And I just wanted to say this is, I think, what we all love about St Kilda. There's all this fantastic creative energy coming together for social justice issues. So I think that's why people love living in St Kilda. As you all know, this is going towards the Vinnie CEO Sleep Out, and I was really pleased to hear that Kevin Rudd is going to, as Martin pointed out, it must be the only night he's in Australia, and he's going to sleep out in Melbourne on Thursday night. But I was thinking about him because it was when he was Prime Minister that he made the commitment that as a government we really have to do something about homelessness. And he often talked about the indecency of such a wealthy country having over 100,000 people homeless on any particular night. And I mention that because we live in this fantastic municipality, Port Phillip, which is actually the 5th wealthiest municipality in Victoria, but it's a very diverse community. But people in this community really do care about those on the margins and people that are homeless and do a lot. And today is an example of what is being done. We're also really lucky, besides the broader community, we've got this fantastic council which has always been very committed to tackling homelessness but also embracing people that are homeless. And I just wanted to mention, through my involvement in Port Phillip Housing Association, it was back in the 80s that the then St Kilda Council made this pretty historic decision that they would match every dollar contributed by state government from $1 out of ratepayers' money towards making sure that people who would otherwise be pushed out of St Kilda could stay here. And that was sort of the foundation that enabled the Port Phillip Housing Association to build this fantastic stable of housing that will ensure that a whole lot of people won't have to move out of St Kilda. We've got the connections with the supports that are really important. And I think, as Martin said, it's not just about housing, it's also about supports. And we're really lucky in this area that we've got a lot of fantastic organisations that are very much here to work for people on the margins. Organisations like the Solvos, Sacred Heart Mission, Inner South Community Health Centre, and I apologise, there's lots of other ones. But there's a really important principle that just because you're homeless, it doesn't mean that you have to move out of an area because you don't have the money to live there. And I think the council and the community are saying we embrace people who've got a connection, we really want them to stay here. So I just wanted to end what Martin said. Fantastic, David, wherever you are. It was a fantastic event. Thanks very much for inviting me to be here. And I've got the pleasure of now asking Robert Lloyd to read his contribution. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a short piece, and how this actually came about, and the other people who've written poems probably know this. I got a Facebook message, I think it was on Thursday morning at about 9 o'clock, and it said that David wanted a piece by the end of business on Thursday. And so I thought it was like next Thursday, and I thought if I don't sit on the computer and work on this and do it now, it's never going to get done. So it's the first time I've ever written a piece in 5 minutes. But I really identified with this idea of homelessness and the idea of actually looking into someone's face who's homeless. So it's called Homeless Man. A homeless man approached me on the street for change, and I thought he looked a lot like me. I gave him a small note, looked at his face, and he said, "God bless you." Well, no one had said that to me for a long time, and it felt good. I began thinking what had brought this man to this situation, and I remembered all the rough times I've been through and how close we can come to living on the street. Today I can give him some change and I can wish him well, and I'm grateful for that. Today I can help. Thank you.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Marvin. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, everybody, for, if you didn't expect what was going on today, for just giving us a few minutes of quiet while we filmed that. It'll go up on Facebook, and hopefully we'll get a few people coming in. These poems on the walls are for sale. People have put time and effort. There's some published poets and some unpublished poets. They're limited editions of 20. We're selling them for $50 each. We're hoping to raise close to $16,000. Doing that over the next couple of weeks. Please tell your friends. Tell people who aren't your friends. The Vinnie's CEO's sleep out is on Thursday, so I'm going to be sleeping out on a 3mm sheet of cardboard in probably 6 or 7 degrees, and that's got to be worth 10 or 20 bucks sponsorship, hopefully. So, thank you everybody for coming, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you.